A slide reads
Hello,
Implementing
and
Evidence-Based Reading
welcome to the
Instruction.
STAR Module 2 webinar on Implementing Evidence-Based Reading Instruction. My name is Jane Meyer. I'm a STAR trainer and a STAR implementer from Canton, Ohio. Trainers deliver this webinar live to each cohort, but I've recorded it for those who have to miss the live webinar or in case someone wants to hear it again. So let's get started. The purpose of today's webinar
Agenda slide.
is for you to see the big picture of where we're headed with this
Number
project.
1, Shopping Cart
You'll
Activity.
begin to see what your classrooms and your programs will look
Number
like
2,
when
Where
you're
are we headed?
implementing evidence-based reading instruction with your intermediate
Number
level
3,
readers.
What will we do when we get there?
Then we'll talk about the activities we're going to do to get there. We'll look at the course syllabus and talk about the course content and timeline.
Number 4, How do I navigate the
You should have
electronic
already
resources?
received directions on how to navigate the electronic resources in this course. Hopefully, you've had time to review this information. At the end of the live webinars, each trainer stays on with anyone who needs help with the electronic resources. But since we're not live, we won't do that today. But please contact your trainer if you have any questions or problems navigating through the online course. We're going to begin with this newly redesigned shopping
Picture
cart.
of a shopping cart.
Look carefully and then jot down at least 3 things that you observe about the cart.
The slide is headed, What do you observe about this newly redesigned shopping cart? The cart is different from your usual shopping cart. The slats on the basket portion of the cart are very wide. There are only 2 wheels. The wheels are on a single rail. And the front wheel is much smaller than the back wheel. New slide with graphic of a woman pushing the cart.
There are several things that most people notice when asked about
The
this
text
cart.
reads, The cart will tip
First,
over.
they usually say that the front wheels are too small and they don't touch the ground, so the cart will tip over.
An animation shows the cart tipping.
Also, there's no baby seat for your child.
The woman now holds a baby.
And there's no bottom shelf for larger items.
Larger items appear on the graphic.
Another problem, the openings in the sides are too wide, so things could fall
Items
out.
in the cart are in danger of falling
You
out.
probably had some of these same observations, maybe a few more. When we see something new, we tend to think about how the new thing would fit in our current environment.
Everything falls out and the woman is unhappy.
Right away, we thought about how this cart wouldn't work in the grocery stores we shop in.
Picture of a cart in a typical
But
store.
what if this newly redesigned shopping cart was in a newly redesigned store? Perhaps the cart's smaller front wheel docks itself onto a device which is similar to a robotic vacuum that automatically propels itself forward.
The text reads, What if the cart automatically propelled itself?
Maybe there's a daycare center in the store.
Graphic of a woman and child heading to store daycare. The text reads, What if the store had a child care center?
Or maybe in this new
Graphic
store,
of cart
you
sitting
just
on a mobile
submit your
phone.
grocery list electronically and your cart is filled and delivered to your
The
home.
text reads, What if you clicked on the cart for online shopping?
In this project, you'll be redesigning your shopping cart, which is the way you currently teach
Graphic
reading.
of different kinds of shopping
You'll be
carts.
learning new techniques for diagnostic assessment and for instruction. You'll probably find that your new cart, the evidence-based techniques that you'll be learning to teach reading, won't work in your old store, which is your classroom or your program structure. The STAR project will help you remodel your store as you built your
Graphic
new
of
cart.
old market transformed into new store.
It's tempting to just work on the cart and forget about the store. But if you don't remodel the store, the new cart won't work. So as you learn about the new techniques for teaching reading and build your new shopping cart, also think about the changes you're going to have to make to your store, your classroom, and your program to enable you to use the new shopping cart. This 2-pronged approach of working on mastering new techniques while making needed structural and functional changes is supported by the research on successful implementation gathered by the National Implementation
Text reads,
Research
You'll need to remodel
Network,
your store, your
NERM.
classroom, your program, to use the new shopping
You're going
cart.
to have a lot of work to do, but your trainer is going to be here to help you. And you're going to do the work over a period of several months. Your stores won't all look alike. You're going to have to decide what things need to be remodeled in your classroom and your program, and how you're going to remodel them in order to use the evidence-based reading techniques. Some of you are from programs who have already begun implementing evidence-based reading instruction, and your stores may be partially remodeled. All of the trainers have built their own shopping carts and remodeled their stores, and they've seen this done many different ways. Your trainer will help you avoid some of the pitfalls and get through the barriers as you implement. This is Lori Martin's classroom
Picture
in
of a
Chicago.
blackboard and computer.
She's working
Text
with 20
reads, what will our
intermediate
classrooms
level
look like when we
readers.
have implemented EBRI?
Sometimes they work together
Lori
as a
at
whole
the board.
class, but mostly
Lori's
Lori has
students.
them working in small groups.
Lori talking to the class.
Lori did a diagnostic reading assessment
Lori
of each
and
of
her students.
so she knows what each student needs to work on.
Lori
as
and
far
her
as
students.
accurate decoding, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension.
Students around a table.
Her diagnostic assessment also
Students working
identified
together.
what level of text would be challenging,
Students at a
but
table.
not too difficult for each student.
Students working in
Throughout
groups.
the class period, the students group and regroup
Lori
according
working
to
with
their
students.
needs and the levels of text that are most appropriate for them to be
Lori
working
helping
with.
students.
Lori moves from group to group, providing direct instruction.
Students in their groups.
Sometimes, while she's working with one
Lori
group,
in front of the
the other
classroom.
students work on assignments on their own.
Blackboard and
Sometimes,
computers.
Lori has more than one group working at a time, and she
Text
moves
reads,
between
what will
the
our
groups.
classrooms look like when we have implemented
Some days
EBRI?
she has an aide who can work with some of the groups. To keep all this organized and help the students know what to do next, Lori has organized a classroom routine. Lori had to build a new shopping cart. She had to make some changes in the way she taught reading. She also had to remodel her store, her classroom, and make some remodeling changes at the program level in order to do the diagnostic assessment and to organize her classroom routine to fit in instruction for all the groups. Over the next several months, your trainer will be helping you learn how to do the diagnostic assessment and how to teach reading using evidence-based techniques. You'll be building your new shopping cart, and like Lori, you'll need to do some remodeling of your store. There are 3 sections of
Overview of the training slide appears.
In Section 1, you'll learn about the components of reading and how to conduct
Section 1,
diagnostic
diagnostic
assessment.
assessment and face-to-face
You'll have a
meeting.
face-to-face meeting at the end of Section 1. Be sure you check with your trainer if you don't already know the date for this meeting, so you can get it on your calendar.
Section 2, evidence-based instruction and
Section
face-to-face
2
meeting.
focuses on delivering evidence-based reading instruction in each of the 4 components of reading. A second face-to-face meeting will be held at the end of Section 2. Make sure you also have this
Section
date on
3,
your calendar.
putting it all together into an instructional
Section
routine.
3 focuses on putting everything together into an instructional routine and fully implementing. Each section contains modules.
Training modules use
Most
explicit
modules
instruction
are completed
slide.
online on your own, so you can do them whenever it's convenient for you. You can stop to reflect or go back and look at parts again if you want to. Some modules are program team meetings. The first time you go through the modules, you'll need to go through them all in order. After you've completed a module, it'll be open for you to go back to it at any time.
Point 1, techniques are explained.
The online modules use explicit
Point 2,
instruction
techniques modeled with
where new
examples and video.
techniques are explained and modeled, and you're guided through some online
Point 3,
practice,
online practice.
followed by assignments where you try the new techniques
Point
with your
4,
students
assignment to try it
and
out.
share reflections in your program
Point
portfolio.
5, reflection in your program portfolio.
Other participants from your program and any previously STAR-trained staff from your program will be able to support you by reading your reflections and discussing
Point
your
6,
ideas
support
and
from
questions.
others in your program and your trainer.
Your trainer will also participate in the discussions in your program portfolio. You'll need to plan time to post your own reflections and plan time to respond to the questions and ideas that others from your program post. You can also share and receive support from others outside your program by posting questions or making comments in the cohort discussions.
Syllabus, next module slide.
From the syllabus, You can see that your next steps are to complete 2 distance
Module
modules
3,
on your
what is
own,
EBRI?
and then you'll need
Module
to meet
4,
as a
why do
program group for
diagnostic
about an
assessment?
hour.
Module 5,
Then you'll
program
have
group
4
meeting.
distance modules to complete on your own. Each of these modules explains how to do diagnostic assessments in
Module
one of
6,
the 4
assessing
reading
alphabetics.
components: alphabetics,
Module 7,
fluency,
assessing fluency.
vocabulary, and
Module
comprehension.
8, assessing vocabulary.
At
Module
the
9,
end of each
assessing
of these 4
comprehension.
modules, you'll be practicing giving diagnostic assessments in that reading component and reflecting on your experiences in your program portfolio. Note that after modules where you have an assignment to post and you have to put something in your program portfolio, your trainer will need to touch base with you before you can move on to the next module. This might be an email or a phone call to make sure all your questions are answered and you feel comfortable and confident with the material before moving on to the next chunk. You'll be using your diagnostic assessment materials beginning in Module 6. If you haven't already selected and received your diagnostic assessment materials, you'll want to get on that right away. If you have questions or need help, please email your
Module
trainer.
10, doing a complete diagnostic
In
assessment.
Module 10, you'll see a video of a complete diagnostic assessment of all 4 components. Then you'll practice doing complete assessments of all 4 components. You'll be sharing your diagnostic assessment results for at least 3 students in your program portfolio before the first face-to-face
Module
meeting.
11, face-to-face meeting.
And then at that face-to-face meeting, you'll be going over those results and talking about what they mean. So you'll want to work your timeline backwards from the first
Module
face-to-face
12,
meeting
action planning with your
to
program
allow
team.
plenty of time to complete the modules and do the diagnostic assessments
Module
before the
13,
meeting.
additional resources,
It
optional.
might be a good idea to make sure your program has set up that 1-hour program group meeting after this call, so everyone will know
Next
their
slide,
timeline.
your trainers will help you.
Your trainer is looking forward to working with you and meeting you in
If you
person
need
at
help
the
navigating the
face-to-face
online
meeting.
modules or using the electronic resources,
Meanwhile,
contact your
as you
trainer.
work through the modules, you'll undoubtedly have questions. Please don't hesitate to contact your trainer. And your trainer will be checking in with you as well. Thanks for joining me today. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, please contact your trainer.